Hello everyone, my name is GenesisNexus and welcome to my channel. In today's video, I kind of wanted to do a feedback / suggestions video for Wuthering Waves, a game I've been playing since its release, as well as kurogames, the people who created Wuthering Waves. In this video, I'll try to show as many visual representations by bringing up other games, whether it be kurogames' other game, Punishing Grey Raven, which I'll refer to as PGR a lot of the times, and then other games in the space like Girls Frontline 2, Hoyoverse games, and even Etheria Restart. I believe just showing the visual representations will give other people a good idea of what I'm trying to say. So I just wanted to preface with that. And without any further delay, let's get into the video. I think my first point I would like to come across with kurogames, this is specifically for them, is to make a unified account system similar to companies like Capcom and Square Enix have a unified account system for their games where you only need one account and it's heavily protected. So you can just use that one account to access their games. Like for Square Enix, you just need that one account, and I can play Final Fantasy 11 or Final Fantasy 14, both which are online games. And Capcom has them for their games, such as like Street Fighter, Exoprimal, and stuff like that. And the reason why is because it just kind of makes it easier for you as well as your players to manage user numbers, as well as account safety. Like, if you're going to make this unified account system, I would also ask for you to put two-factor authentication in there just for that added protection. And the reason why I even put this first on my list was about 2 or 3 months ago, in preparation for the Devil May Cry collaboration, which is currently happening with PGR, I started playing PGR for the first time. And I thought that, hey, my Wuthering Waves account would be great to use for this game, but then I noticed, oh wait, I have to create a separate kurogames account just for PGR. Having this unified system would just save everyone the trouble. And then also, there's other people in the space. A lot of people consider kurogames this competitor of Hoyoverse. Hoyoverse, for example, has that system where you only need one Hoyoverse account and you can access their online forums, you can access Zenless Zone Zero, Honkai Star Rail, Genshin Impact, just from that one account, so that you don't have multiple accounts. Because think about that. If having 3 games, and the reason why I'm even mentioning this, because I think we've all seen the rumors based on the job postings from kurogames in China, where they're apparently hiring for a new position for a different game. This would solve for that, because if we're gonna have 3 different kurogames, PGR, Wuthering Waves, and a new one, having people make a unique account for each is kind of crazy, don't you think? So I just wanted to bring that up to hopefully they can implement something like that in the future. And also, another thing for kurogames is please allow players to redeem codes via the website. I know when we do our live streams, I know we're currently on the 2.5 release for Wuthering Waves, and I know 2.6 is the live stream for that is happening in a couple of days, at least for us in the West. So just allowing the redeeming of codes through your website would be great. You already have the top-up shop and stuff, and maybe even inside that top-up shop you could have a section, because a different tab in there for redeeming codes. Because most games allow you to redeem codes via your user ID right over here. So I don't think it would hurt. Once again, I'm going to bring up Hoyo Games allows you to do it. Another game I play, Brown Dust 2, allows you to do it. And even Final Fantasy 14, which I brought up earlier, which is a Square Enix game, they allow you to do that for their game of Final Fantasy 14. But yeah, that's something I want to bring up. And then the last of these first 3 points is, I know we're currently, like I mentioned earlier, I started playing PGR for the DMC Collab, which is currently happening right now. So if you're interested in that, please go check it out. It's really great. I know kurogames announced that they have a collab with Cyberpunk 2077 coming up. And I just wanted to kind of give a suggestion to please allow us to play David. It would be really kind of sad if we didn't get the main character in the game. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because in other games that I play or just see in the gacha space, some games will do a collab and they'll bring only the female side of the character cast and forget about the male characters. And it's not like I'm asking for multiple of the male characters, just the main guy on the, even I think he's even on the cover art, and whose story we follow the most in Cyberpunk 2077. So, or Cyberpunk Edge Runners, mind you. And I just thought it would be a great thing because you guys did the PGR collab with Devil May Cry so great. I just wanted to mention that here. And that is all for those topics. Now to kind of get into the stuff for Wuthering Waves specifically. And I'm going to come over to the convene or the warp, whatever you want to call it, where you do your polls for new characters. And it's pretty packed with a lot of information, a lot of things like going to the trial and stuff. And the one thing that isn't on this screen is where you are and how much pity you're adding up to, like total pity. And you may be wondering, like, oh yeah, you can come here and you have to wait for it to load. And also this loading records isn't automatic. As you can see, you would have to go through multiple pages and count them up. But now I'm going to bring up Punishing Grey Raven. If I come over here to PGR and I come in for the, as you can see down here, you have 20 out of 60. It just tells you how much. And I don't think that would be too hard to implement into Wuthering Waves to put it like directly above where this 4-star Resonators rate up is. A different box just to show us and have it update in real time like the PGR one does. So that was one idea I had or suggestion. Another one that kind of is a small update is something up here, whether it be up here or in this screen on this tab here, because it's just a timer to tell how much time is left in local time when the wave plates will be full again. And the reason why I'm bringing that up is because now I'm going to bring up another game, Girls Frontline 2. Another game I play. And if I come down here at the bottom and you click this, it tells me how much time till my next point of stamina and then how much time till my full recovery. And this just allows your players to like better manage their time, so people don't log on and they're like, oh wait, I can't do anything, because in Wuthering Waves, a lot of things need wave plates. Like for example, I have to do my dailies, and if I come, oh, sorry, I clicked Renesita, because just as of yesterday, there was the was it the 2 times event for Tacit Fields? They require 60. Now, if I want to pre-farm for other characters or even do stuff for my current characters, I'm going to come back to Renesita. I'll actually use this one right here. That takes 40. I have to farm for weapon and XP mats. That takes 40. So, like, just being able to gauge the time, like, even if it was just, hey, full recovery in such and such time and however many hours, would help out the player base. Another thing is, for the wave cap crystals, this is the overflow for people who maybe don't play as often. I would just like a suggestion, maybe to bump this up or double whatever this number is, or even just make it a flat 1,000. Because I know HSR had a crazy amount. I think at like 2,400, I believe. Someone could possibly correct me, or I'll probably put it up on the screen if I can get that number. And all this is just for, I know a lot of friends who started playing Wuthering Waves after the Game Awards and 2.0 dropped, and everything has been really great since 2.0. So just small quality of life that I don't think would hurt anyone else if it's added to the game. For the players who are already managing it fine, it doesn't hurt them to have the number. For the newer players, it just helps them for them to see it. And coming off from that point, this is another small suggestion I had, is when it comes to claiming things, I just finished this. Reset happened. It's Monday. And as you can see, there's no claim all button here. I think this is something players have been asking for since 1.0 or 1.2. I have to individually click all these. And it's not for the fact that Wuthering Waves doesn't have a claim all button in some things. It just doesn't have them in places where it should. If I were to go to, for example, the Pioneer class, which is our battle pass, there's a claim all button here. And it's kind of like a weird thing to not have it in other places like events for people to just claim all and continue on with the event. Now, to step off from that point into another one, as you can see, when I claimed all on the battle pass, this kind of intrusive screen popped up to unlock the insider channel. Now, it's not anything big, but I remember playing back in 1.0 and this screen did, if I may be wrong, someone can correct me in the comments down below, this didn't pop up. It used to be, hey, I claimed and you're done. But now it kind of has this screen. I think this happened around 2.0 and it's kind of tedious or just annoying to have this pop up, because in your other game, once again, I'm going to bring up PGR. I made sure to do my dailies, and as you can see, here's all my points. I claimed them. Now I come here, I have one thing, and here are the insider channels in PGR. Now, I know I'm going to get this one later on. I just want to get this one as far as possible. But if I claim all, oh, it just claims the rewards real quick. There's no, hey, yeah, do you want to unlock these? Like, no. It just happens. And I just want to bring that up because it happened on this screen, and I don't know what patch it happened specifically. I'm thinking it was 2.0, but it's kind of weird that it was added so late in the game. And other than that, I'm going to step away from that and move into something else that a friend had mentioned to me, because we both play Brown Dust 2. I know people are going to say, oh, Gunnar game, but that's besides the point. It has a pretty decent story that we enjoy. If we come into the Resonator screen here, and we go to, I'll use Wanwu or even, Lin Yang. When you try to level up a character, you can only go to a max of 20. Then you have to level them up. Then you have to ascend them. Then you have to do it again. But I think just a good quality of life would be allowing us to just, it's just allowing us to do it all at once. So if someone has the materials to go from level 1 to level 90, because as you know, when new characters come out, like for example, Frolova just came out, and people, they did the story, they pull on her really quick, and they immediately try to level them up as fast as possible. So I'm going to show a screen I have from Brown Dust 2, and as you can see on the screen for Brown Dust 2, up here are the ascension materials that we need to go from like level 20, 40, 60 up into 100, but Wuwa only goes up to 90. And then you see the EXP materials down here, and then the gold cost, and then excess gold will be returned. So a simple thing like that of just, hey, how much of my mats do I want to use to get them to a certain level? It'll take the appropriate amount of ascension materials, and it'll tell you how much of each is taking and how much you have left. And then you click level up, and you go from 1 to 90. It was just an idea that I had, and I thought, hey, this visual representation from a different game would show you how to implement that. This way people aren't like, for example, let me see a different character that I actually want to use. I'm going to use Wanwu. As you can see, level, and then you come to the screen. There's no really need for that. You could just do it all in one. Kind of removes an extra click from the user for anyone who understands like software engineering or anything with like click-through rates for stuff from people. All right. And from that, oh yes, this is something that a couple of people, and even myself, I just don't understand why it happened. As many people know, I think it was 2.3 or 2.4 when we got these skins with Changli and Carlotta, which I have to say, out of everything Wuthering Waves has given us so far, these are the most disappointing skins. And it's not for lack of trying or they haven't done it before. In these skins, like for example, this Carlotta one, I would have gotten it if it actually was like a full skin. Now I understand like people will say, hey, yeah, they're kind of differentiating between like deluxe skins and like premium skins, but I think everyone would rather you just make a premium skin and sell it, because if you buy this skin, you could see this water gun here. Carlotta doesn't have that. None of her skill effects change or anything. It's just, hey, yeah, a reskin of what she was wearing. And to bring up PGR, as you can see, one of my characters I know and love, Lucia Crimson Weave, she has this skin. That is not her base skin. That's not even her base weapon skin. If I go into coatings here, these are her base skins that you can love different versions of it, as you can see. But if you max level character, you'd be on this advanced one, and that would be what she would look like. Not her weapon, but as you can see, and you can see kurogames has the experience to make these new skins. Like look at these effects, and they also affect her ultimate as well. And I don't know if it's whether the PGR team and the Woo team aren't talking, but I would love if they could, because they can both like learn and grow from each other. Like just to even show the weapons, as you can see, like the weapons themselves change. And even for a different character, Nanami Star Trail, brand new character, like look at that for her weapon. And then even for her, oh, that's that skin. She has her own skin. Like this is kind of crazy to the kind of, I don't know if it's a juxtaposition to just, I see it in, it's the same company, two different games from the same company, but the effort or the work isn't there. And it's not to say that they haven't done it before, like a weapon skin and stuff, because for those players who were here since 1.0, whereas the girl who saved a lot of people's accounts, Jinsey. As you can see, my Jinsey's wearing a skin. This is her base, and here is what they would call a premium, and it even comes with a weapon, and it also changes the skill effects and stuff. I think a lot of people will agree with me that if Wuthering Waves just stuck to these premium skins with, hey, yeah, they have the weapon, they have the full skin, and skill animations change with the skin, that people would love it. You could either make it piecemeal or make it as a set, and they have different discount prices or whatever for them. And I think there was another character who they also did a skin for, but they gave it to us for free. I personally don't use this character too much, but Sanhua, she's on a lot of people's teams. And it's just called a signature outfit. But this one doesn't come with the weapon, which I think it should. But I digress. I just wanted to bring that up because as you guys saw, I showed in PGR, like they can do it, and they have done it before. I would prefer if they just stuck with like the full premium, like with the weapon change and everything, because I think a lot of people were expecting Carlotta to have a water gun as her weapon, and then they didn't get it. Like, I bought this for Changli because I like Changli. But if any further skins come out and they are these deluxe outfits for Wuthering Waves and not like the full premium outfits with weapon skins and animation changes, I probably won't buy them, even if it's for Changli. Because it just feels weird and nasty to promote this. And yes, you can call me a hypocrite for this one. I thought about, I got it, and then I thought about it afterwards, and I was just like, I messed up here. But hopefully, if you guys agree or disagree, please put it down in the comments down below. And to move on from that, the next point I have on my doc or list here is something that came from when I was watching a content creator, Fobmaster. I'll link to him down below. This kind of idea goes to him because that's the only person I've seen talk about it. But in China, apparently, kurogames or Wuthering Waves has an API to allow players to see other players' builds. For anyone who's played a Hoyoverse game, you know the Fribbles and websites like that where you can get people's gear and like take a look at them and like see, oh, I need to build this into this gear. Now, I believe those games also have the ability to block. So if you want to hide it, I think Wuthering Waves should do that as well, at least for the global release of it, because we don't have that API on our side, to my knowledge, at least. And Fob was talking about how it would be nice to be able to show other players your builds and how you were able to get numbers. Like, for example, if I come into my friends list and I click on someone here, and notice how many clicks in I have to also do this. Sorry, it's loading up. And if I clicked one of these, as you can see, nice animations and stuff, but it would be nice if like somewhere it showed like a button to show people's gear. Now, I don't know if PGR does this, so I'm going to quickly open up PGR and okay, yeah, I know. Oh yeah, it does. So once again, it's in another one of kurogames' stuff. Like, hey, yeah, it shows what these would be echoes in PGR. So, and then the weapon. Okay, so you can't at least check what stats they gave the weapon, but you can do for characters. I'm gonna go to your Virgil. Yeah. So you have it here, how people would build their accounts, and I just think the option of that being available, it wouldn't hurt anyone. And I think by default, if you do add it, it should be turned off, and then tell players, hey, yeah, we've added this new feature, and then players can go into the settings and just add it or turn it on. Oh, and to kind of piggyback off that idea of showing character builds and stuff, I would like, and I think this also comes from Fobmaster, and I think a couple of guide makers and stuff, if we could possibly like turn off, have a toggle for sequence nodes, because if you have been in the Wuthering Waves space long enough, I think there was an event by Braxophone, a tournament. I think it was either earlier this year or last year. There was one by Sweetly, I believe, earlier this year, and it was all great fun. Everyone was enjoying it, seeing how players could do holograms and stuff, and it was really cool. And tournament play, and I think for like equalizing tournaments or even for guide makers, like, hey, yeah, if they like people like Pridewin, if they could toggle these on and off, the ones they do have, so they can see the actual numbers in game and stuff, and like test it out for themselves. I was just thinking that would be an option. It'd be a cool thing, and I don't think it would be that hard to like add a, as you can see, an activate button, maybe a disactivate or deactivate, and then maybe a button here similar to the weapons. Oh, I'm blocking, but there's a button down there in the right that most people know. It brings up this weapon screen, but a button down there to just turn off all and turn back on all sequences. Now, this next topic I have in mind is something that I think a lot of players since 2.0 have been asking for, but I think I have a little bit of a twist, so this one may be controversial, so please let me know what you think in the comments, and even if you're reacting to this video, let me know what you think. I think having as much ideas on it as possible would be great for kurogames to see. Is the flight. As many of us know, when we came to 2.0 Renacida, we were able to fly. And flying is an amazing thing. It's a great thing. I'm actually going to pop over to here and do it really quick. And it allows us to see so much of the map and traverse really quickly. And I'm not going to ask directly for flying. Oh. And this is an amazing thing. I know kurogames has already made like outfits and stuff, or skins for the wings and thing and stuff. So I'm just going to land right here. I could go further, but I think you've caught my point. I think because I know people have been asking, hey, can you bring it to Honglong and like the Black Shores? I think not necessarily adding flying in, but something that is unique to the area but will still allow something similar. For example, in this area, we fight. Where is he? Is he up here or down here? No, yeah, Inferno Rider. What if after we beat Inferno Rider for the first time, you get access to a bike that, because I think it's Baija and Mortefi are a part of some research science foundation inside Jinzo. So what if they found a way to make you a bike and you can traverse the land? And I think that happens early in the game, so players would love that. And then for us current players who've been playing since 1.0, you would get a bike or a hoverboard or something similar. Because if I come here, I think there's always like a car. So maybe even a car. And I'm just trying to give ideas to make something unique for each area that allows traversal. Oh yeah, these kind of like little dune buggy things, and it's just an idea for like traversal to move faster, because as much as this speed is, as you guys can see, I'm running, it does not cover the same amount of ground. And even with the wings, I know tons of people who still explore in Wuthering Waves, so it's no problems to add that in the game. And if you want to, you can even go a little bit further and make it like modular, so people can modify their things like with skins and stuff. Because I play a game called Warframe, and we have motorcycles in Warframe as well as archwings, and we're allowed to color them however way we want, and we can use them anywhere in the game. So just that idea that kind of like came out of my head. And I probably should have mentioned this earlier back when I was talking about the skins, but if anyone takes a look, you could probably look up on the Wuthering Waves Twitter page. I know a lot of people don't like to go to Twitter, but the reason why I'm bringing up Twitter is because just recently since like 2.0, I was seeing how they would always show skins and outfits and stuff. And I think for a lot of us who were here in 1.0, even till now in the surveys, they ask, hey, what type of skins do you guys want? How do you want them to look? Like, what genre do you want them to look? And I think kurogames, you have like perfect skins you could bring into the game already. So I'm going to bring up this really quick. This is from their Twitter. I think it was for Curlfest or something, or another one of their events. Sorry, I'm just going to bring it up, and I'm going to zoom in. Like, as you can see, like Yinlin has an outfit. I would love a outfit like this for Shorekeeper. Even our rover looks really cool. Zhang Liao, Camellia, and like adding just these skins in the game would be amazing. Here's another skin that they released recently, and as you can see, like Brant for Lova has one, and Cardathea. It's just like you ask kurogames, and I'm speaking for myself here, but you guys have it. Just port these into the game. Like, look at. I would love this for Chengli, so please port this into the game. And an idea, I don't know if these are sorry, this is from PGR, but as you can see, the skins are just great. I don't know if these are fan thing or artists you commission to make these, or if they're in game or in studio, but they're just amazing skins that you guys could bring. And the reason why I mentioned fan commissions is because the game I mentioned earlier, Warframe, does something similar with their fandom, We have what we call Tenogen in that game, and the community members can make skin designs and stuff on the forums, and Digital Extremes, who makes Warframe, they'll take those, they'll collaborate with that artist, and they'll port them into the game. And depending on however many, I don't know what the contract is for that, but however, we all know that however many sales that those skins make in game, the original creators get a certain percentage of it. I know of a couple of Warframe skin creators or Tenogen creators who literally make a living off of that. Some of them have been able to buy houses with the money they make off of skins, and they're really, really good. But I don't want to detract from Wuthering Waves, but I just wanted to kind of like keep going through like all of these images, as you can see that I'm showing you, can be found on the Wuthering Waves Twitter. So I just wanted to show them and just hopefully gauge the community's like minds on this. Do you guys think, are you guys thinking the same? Are these like good skins you would like to see them in the game? And if not these, then what skins would you like to see? But yeah, I just wanted to go through all of those to just show that you guys have something to pull from when adding in these skins. Now I'm going to get into, I guess, more serious topics, or at least to me, is the idea of signature weapons. I know there's been a couple of videos in the past, I think even some more recent ones like by Vars2 and I think by Saraness. So if I find them, I'll link them down in the description box below so you guys can go check those out yourself. But we were kind of in a point in Wuthering Waves where, from 1.0, where a lot of people's weapons could be used on a lot of other people. And for example, my love here, Chang Li, her weapon Blazing Brilliance was used by a lot of people. Like the stats it gave here, even the bonuses it gave were really nice and it was really cool. Like I know we have standard 5-star weapons, but some of those standard 5-star weapons, like I know some people don't like to use it, but Pridewind even has like data for them. Like, oh, standard 5-stars will do maybe like 100%. But then like the signature will jump to like 120 or 140% of the damage or the damage potential. And we had a couple of these like universal stuff that people could use. Like even Jinxi's signature weapon that could be used. And for those who know, they know, String Master was one of the definitive like really great ones that people were using. They were like, hey, I didn't get all the characters, or I don't pull a lot of people's signature, but people would pull for String Master, and they've had it ever since. But as of late, some of these weapons have been getting a little bit too unique. Now, I'm fine with unique cases every now and then, but we have cases such as, where is she? Zani, where this is just absolutely for her and her alone. Like if you were to use this, I don't have Roshia's signature weapon, but Roshia's weapon, even Brant. And I think one of the main points I think that really it started to click with me was when Brant's thing came out, because I think people did the numbers on this, and as you can see, it gives 77% energy regen. And for the Echo set that he specifically uses, all you need to do is really reach 250%. But if you want like maximum value, I think on his Forte circuit, you need like 280%. And to reach that, I think they did the numbers. His weapon is the best for you to reach that, easy. The next step down would be, where is it? Overture. Or I think the standard weapon was after that. Where is that? Emerald of Genesis. But even those, like it takes, if you use any of those two options, you're going to need a significant amount of luck on your echoes to actually hit that 280%. And I just wanted to bring this up because I don't know if other people were feeling this way. Just like The idea of I think it's totally fine. Like for example, where is she? Cardathea, her weapon, because she uses HP percentage as a character, I understand that this weapon is like uniquely built for her. And that's a good one off case. But then we start getting into specific uh, weapons and stuff not being able to be used by anyone but the character. And it kind of reminisces a little bit about PGR in my mind. For those who don't know, I think only a handful of characters in PGR share weapons, or at least not signature weapons, but like their 5-star weapons. As you can see, like my Nanami Star Trail, only she can use this weapon. If I were to go to my Lucia, like I don't think any other unit uses her weapons. But if I were to go to, sorry, I have to go deep back. Oh, why am I? Oh, she's not physical. She's fire. Sorry. This is a character we start with in the beginning of the game, Lucia Lotus, and she has this weapon. But as you can see, oh, two other characters kind of share like can share this kind of like 5-star weapon. But once we go into like 6-star, that's when it's kind of like it no longer can be shared. And I don't know if that idea or concept is moving over from PGR into Wuthering Waves, and I kind of wanted to bring some attention to it. And also, now that I'm on the topic of weapons, I think this is probably going to be controversial as well. I think they need to revamp 4-star weapons. There are a lot of 4-star weapons that are just utterly useless. Or not utterly useless, but just not viable. As I mentioned before, is it here? No. Funny enough, this is the broad blade section, so I have to find a user with the sword. I mentioned it earlier, like, where is it? Overture. I think a lot of people love this weapon, just like they love whatever the rectifier is called. I think I have that rectifier on Farina. Yeah, variation. It's a lovable rectifier. It can be used by everyone. It's really good. But the rest of this stuff, like the ones from the battle pass, I have yet to see a single user or even Pridewin even recommend any of these. I think some of these just need to be merged into one. Like even this one, I think only Sanhua uses this, or she uses Emerald of Genesis. Lunar Cutter, like, oh, I have a lot of overtures. But like, and some of these 4-star weapons I don't even have. But I know I do have like a box. Where is it? Because they gave us like a box or something that could give us, yeah, oh, you can claim one of the eternal weapons or premium tuners. I would be like, just give me the tuners. But I just wanted to save it for this video of just like, hey, 4-star weapons aren't that great. But in a game like PGR, once again, Wuthering Waves is, or kurogames' other game, 5-star weapons like this are fully viable on certain characters. Like, for example, my Lamia uses a 5-star, but I've fully maxed it out. So in this case, it would be like the R1 to R5 for Wuthering Waves. My Jetavi is using this. My Karina Shire is using her 5-star. I think my Aya Kaleido is using 5-star. And up until recently, I didn't have like this guy's 6-star, but I got it. But for the longest time, as you can see, he was using this. And as you can see, the stats aren't like super competitive. There's a clear drop off, but they were still viable for a lot of players. It was then at that point you would be like, hey, what's your skill? How good do you know your rotation? And Wuthering Waves, I understand, has a little bit more freedom, but I think it's freedom in like skill expression, but then in terms of weapons, you're a lot more restricted. So I would just like to bring that up, and hopefully they can revamp those 4-star weapons and stuff and make them viable. I think a couple of them just need to be merged, and it would make for a better outcome for all players, for current players, returning players, and for new players. And to move away from the topic of weapons, this is more of a quality of life. It's for the synthesis system, and I'm so glad you guys put it in this menu. As you can see here, trying to go to the gold for the synthesis, it's kind of like, oh, I have to go, if I don't have enough of those, I have to come down here, and then I have to level this up, and if I don't have enough of those, I have to synthesize another set of this. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because this system, or the essential materials here, remind me of a game I'm currently playing, or I'm kind of in the midst of playing, is Ethereal Restart, which I'm going to bring up now. Sorry, I just want to auto this. But in Ethereal Restart, when you go to 6-star, or even just level up a character, like for example, I'll take Heinrich, you need these things called shadow prints. And as you can see, I only have one of this, but in Ethereal Restart, you can open up this screen and it'll take the appropriate amount from each of the lower rarities to make this, and it'll even tell you how much it's making. Now, I believe in the Wuthering Waves Discord, there were a group of people who made like a feedback post for like 2.2 and 2.3, where they showed something similar, and it would just, as you can see here, see the purple one, to make this gold, hey, all you need is an extra box for the blue and then an extra box for the green. So then you just have to, hey, if I want to make 50 of these, it would take the appropriate amount from either one without me having to come down here, then do this, come down here, then do this, and then come back up here and do it. It's all about like simplifying and just reducing the amount of clicks necessary to do a simple task. And I wanted to bring that up. And since we're talking about essential materials, which are these, I believe I also heard this on Fob's stream, or it was on the Reddit. And just the idea I think I approve of as well is it would be nice if essential materials for the newer characters, if a small amount, a small amount was added to the various weekly stores around the world instead of just being in the newest area. And the reason why I say this is because as any player, when the patch drops, we all know we come immediately into here and we start pulling for the new character to get them. Now for Lova, I don't know if I maxed for Lova already. I think I did. Yes, but does she need... No, I can't see it from here, but did I do it for Lupa? Dang it. I don't have someone to show a visual representation, but I can show you in the world. Like, for example, we have this pharmacy here in Jinzhou, which I think it wouldn't be that hard lore reasons to come down here and be like, hey, can I get some ascension mats for the new character? I think, yeah, they sell like... Sorry, my big head is in the way. Let me move myself out the way. As you can see, they sell 15 of them. They even tell you Resonator Ascension materials. Selling 15 of them, I don't think would hurt the game or kurogames in any way, because it's a small amount, and I think as you get to like level 70 or 80, they start to need like 18 or 20 of those materials. So it would just help people like early get in, start testing out builds, because I know people build echoes and stuff really early. If I even go here, I'm trying to see if I can find the shop in Septimont. Is this it right here? Yeah, I think this is it. Because I remember for Lova and Lupa, it took a while to get into game. I think it was like an hour or two before you actually got to this store. But if you've already pulled the character, you're kind of just holding on to a character. And yeah, 15. And all I'm asking is just bringing that into earlier shops, because there's tons of earlier shops in the game, and adding it to even the Renacita shop would be fine. All right. Okay. We're almost done here. Sorry if this video has been kind of long. I've just wanted to show you guys as much visual examples as possible to get the point across. And to kind of start, I know that when Lupa came out, people were kind of, it was kind of a weird situation with Lupa where, as much as I do have Lupa, I pulled her like right as her banner was ending. I personally don't use her on my 3 team because I know she's for the mono fusion. And again, it kind of brings me to the idea of PGR. Where's actually my fusion team? Yeah, I use Verena. I just use Verena. Now, some people will use Lupa for the 3 team, but I understand that maybe they're trying to follow the PGR route of, oh, mono ice, for example. Or, for example, darkness or nihility only has 2. And it's like this weird thing of this character is, for how she was portrayed in the story and the trailers as like a badass, like gladiator, she kind of is meh, at least to me. Maybe I haven't built her right. Someone can offer, hey, if Rexlin or someone, or even Sweetly wants to offer, or Wallenstein himself wants to offer, hey, yeah, I'll teach you how to play Lupa better. That would be great. But like, I'm coming over in around the same time of Lupa, we had Vera Garavar, who came out in PGR, who's honestly a character I love. She's a badass, but she has, and it kind of gives me this weird like thought that Wuthering Waves is trying to copy PGR's like amplifier system. She's supposed to be an amplifier. You do her thing, you get her off the field, you move on to the next character. But sometimes I'll do a game mode and I'll just play as her, and I'll just QT the other 2 people and just continuously play as her because she's viable by herself. I could play a team by herself with just her, but I can't say the same for Lupa. And you may say, like, what do you mean by this? Like, even Chang Li in Wuthering Waves, I could play Chang Li by herself. I could play her with Brant, and these 2 by themselves can do it. I can literally take Verena out the equation, and these 2 would do great by themselves. But I kind of want to just, I'm bringing this up because I would love them to kind of keep the idea of generalist healers / buffers in the game, because I love people like Verena. There's even Shorekeeper, and I understand maybe it's because Shorekeeper was too strong. Maybe you need to dial it back a bit. Give people other buffs like defense up or crit up or something like that, or even just HP up. Because actually, sorry, I'm gonna come down here. Funny enough, both of them being on a team. I think the reason why I'm saying this is because the only other viable like healers or buffers is Yohu, who, I'm not gonna lie, this character was the saddest disappointment of my pulling career, because I tried to use her even on tower and she just ain't it, at least not for me or how I play. And I have yet to see someone else viably use her. I think Rexland did use her to like solo stuff, but I think it needed like crazy echoes and he had to like max her out, like C6 her. Eventually you'll get her C6, but it was just like a weird thing. And then you have Baija, who like heals and stuff. And the idea I want to give here for these characters is kind of like do a leap system, because for those who don't know, in PGR, they have something called a leap system to give older characters like buffs. Like if I come into here for Alyssa Echo, I think she's been out in the game for like 2 years or like 3 years by this point, because remember, I only started playing like 2 or 3 months ago. And you can see down here she have like leap skills. They give her different elements and stuff. They change up some of her stuff, or even I think even her damage modifiers, like, yeah, they change too. And I was thinking maybe maybe do that for the healers, because I know you did implement the elemental system in Wuthering Waves. So, well, kind of a pseudo elemental system with like arrow erosion, spectral frazzle and stuff. And maybe you can do a leap system kind of with even these 4-star characters. And even some of the older 5-star characters. Because as we've seen, a lot of the newer sets and stuff tend to lean heavy into applying or utilizing these elemental afflictions as they're called. And I don't think it would hurt to, like, for example, update Chang Li to use them. Update Jian to use Arrow Erosion. Update Chixia or even Don Jin, because I think I can bring up sorry, I just want to bring up a quick screenshot of those same elemental afflictions that were added back in 2.0. Wait, where is it? Sorry about this. Okay. So, as you guys can see here, these are the kind of elemental afflictions that were added. There's Spectral Frazzle, there's Arrow Erosion, Havoc Bane, which we haven't seen yet, Fusion Burst, which we thought we were going to get with Lupa, but we didn't get them, and then Glacio, Electro Flare. And I was just thinking, sorry, I'm kind of like looping a lot of topics together, but some of these characters could love these one, like the Glacio Shaft or Chafe. Please give it to Lin Yang, cause man, my boy needs it. Like I think a lot of people would agree with me. If we ever do a poll and you get Lin Yang, you feel like you've been shafted and you lost 50-50. But like other characters, such as I know Gotcha Smack loves, who was another content creator, he loves Jianzin. Brina's always good. People have been using Encore instead of Chang Li in the Mono Fusion. Who else is on the list? Oh, Calcharo. I know people who use Calcharo, but I would love if Calcharo has like the electro flare special effect, because if the game is going to start utilizing these a lot more, a lot of those older sets are starting to lose their flair a bit. I think the only one people really are still using is like Moonlit, which is really just helping with like energy regen and stuff like that. But I wanted to bring that up because while Wuthering Waves has this weird kind of situation with characters not being strong enough or utilizing the newer mechanics such as the elemental afflictions and stuff like Spectral Frazzle and Arrow Erosion, I think adding them to other characters like Alto and stuff would just kind of bring everyone back into balance, because for the longest time Wuthering Waves was capable of, like, I know people who were using Jian all the way up until 2.0 and they were loving him and he was still viable, and I would love if he can keep it going, because in their original game PGR, a lot of these characters, like I mentioned, like I think Alyssa Echo has been around for like 2-3 years. Even going into my Ice team right now, I had to pick up this character, even though they gave it to her technically for free. She's been here for I think at least 2 or 3. I think she's been here longer than the main DPS Q Sakura. So it's just like, or Shukura, sorry. And I wanted to bring that up because even in PGR, we have 4-star viable units like Jetavi. I use Jetavi over my S rank or my 5-star Lamia because she's maxed out. Like, she doesn't even have her 6-star weapon, but she's still viable. And sorry, I'm like ping pong. I think I said that like twice, but I just want to get the point across that certain units are viable. And I just really want to understand what's going on in the Wuthering Waves team's head for it. And I'm gonna move into the last few points here, which is, I'm gonna do it kind of quickly. Asking for a dorm room in Wuthering Waves, and I know some people may or may not like that idea. I know PGR doesn't have the best of dorm rooms, but the reason why I'm asking for a dorm room is because lore accurate reasons. You can bring it into the Black Shores, which is essentially the Rover's home, and the reason why I'm asking for it here, lore accurate wise, is from this room, wherever you guys want to put it in in the Black Shores, you can have something else that people have been asking for, which is a training room inside your dorm. And whether it's a training dummy with like infinite HP or one that can attack, so people can test out their characters and their builds and stuff like that. And all of it would kind of fit really snugly in the Black Shores. They do all the research for like the Lament and stuff. They do all the research for like echoes and stuff. So like it would be really great to put it here and give another use to this area. And I only say to put it here because there's no need to put it somewhere else or in every town. Like it suits best here. Like even I think this is where Shorekeeper is. Put an extra door there or something. There's tons of doors here that don't lead anywhere, and it would be nice to put it here. And I'm going to bring up another game that I play, Girls Frontline 2. I brought it up earlier. But even here, they have a training room or training practice where you could test out, like set the weaknesses of the training dummy and stuff and whether or not it will attack you or not. And this is a good way to gauge your teams. I think even here they have like, a rating system, who did the most damage or who lasted the longest. Like I don't even bother trying because I know my team and I know what I need. But Wuthering Waves is vastly different from Girls Frontline 2. And there's a lot of skill expression and stuff. And people have all tons of different builds. So for especially like people like the Danjin mains who we all know of, who can solo content like the 6-star holograms and stuff. So I kind of want to bring that up. And then like my final point I want to bring up is for Wuthering Waves to please address the decline of 4 stars. And the reason why I'm saying decline is because, as you can see down here, these are 3 4 stars. Wanwu, I think, has been in the game since the beginning. So is Tao Kui. But we've yet to have another new 4-star unit. And as you saw earlier, I mentioned in PGR, they have had 4-star units. Sorry, I just want to make sure I get the right one. Like, for example, recently we had Yada Fulgore. She's already had her own skin in this game. Like, this is her base skin. I bought this skin because it looked cool. And I even bought the weapon because it looked cool too. And then there's another 4-star character who I'm starting to use a lot more is Noctis and Dominus. And please, if you need any like ideas for male characters, Wuthering Waves team, you have it here in PGR. You have cool male characters, decent male characters like Chrome, who I would love to see it get a new thing. But let me move back to the whole idea of A ranks or 4-star characters. You've been releasing them in PGR, but Wuthering Waves, I don't think we've had another new 4-stars since like Lumi here. And even she isn't even that great. And I would just really like you guys to add some new ones, because in another game I play, I like to bring up other games so like you guys can see a visual representation. In this game called Etheria Restart, these purple units are SR units, so they are our 4-star units. They're not like these SSRs, they're 4 stars. This Deeding guy has been viable since day 1. People have had to do the numbers to find out, but he's been viable. Nell, 4-star unit, viable. Valerian was a very first unit, and like they even gave this character away. If you bought like even like $1 in the shop, they gave you a free copy of her. She has been viable till this day. You have people like Catchy the Guard, which is doing the hardest content in the game, the Inferno difficulty. A healer who's doing it, a dispeller over here doing it, and even this guy who goes perfectly with where is she? Sato Sonya. They're both doing the dot team. If anyone who likes dot from like HSR, those two are like the dot team in Etheria Restart, and this guy is still viable to this day. Like, for example, this one is another dispeller who, as you can see on her skills, I'm going to be building her soon. But they have tons of characters. People have been making builds with like Kraken or like Obero or Victor, and Wuthering Waves can't seem to make it viable 4-stars. Like PGR can, but Wuthering Waves can't. And it's a weird thing, and I think a lot of people would agree. Sorry, I'm trying to not say everyone. A lot of people agree. If hey, make some new 4-stars. Like if I go over to Huang Long right now, and I come right over here, the guy here who's Yan, the NPC, he looks like a cool character. I would love to have him as a 4-star character. Maybe he just joins the fight. And yeah, right here, this guy. He would be cool to turn into a 4-star character. Like there's a lot of named characters in the game. Like for example, Sanhua is a character in the game who we should be able to add as a 4-star. Oh, another character that I know a lot of people liked. Where is she? Oh yes, Rosemary. Like around the world of Wuthering Waves, there are tons of characters who could be added as 4-star viable characters. And that's why I said earlier, hey, yeah, it would be nice if you could update the current 4-stars and standard unit 5-stars, even the limited 5-stars, to have those elemental afflictions so they can be viable into endgame. They're not going to be as strong as the 5-stars, but they'll be viable for, hey, a new player or even just a person who wants to do a YouTube series. It would allow content for Wuthering Waves to be done in different ways. Like, for example, though I don't play this game anymore, Zenless Zone Zero has people doing content with the starting character, Billy. And sorry, my phone is going off and I don't know why. I think it's Discord. Oh my God. Sorry about that. But people are doing Billy runs in Zenless Zone Zero, and they're fully maxing out on their end game content and stuff. But it takes player skill and investment to do it. But I don't even think we can say the same for Wuthering Waves. I know some people say, "Oh, but TOA is easy. Whimpering Waste is Whimpering Waste." I would just love some of these characters if I could just use them on the regular. Like I know Mortefi holds down the team, but he's not a main DPS. Some people do it with Chixia, but you really think about it, and like Chixia, Sanhua, Mortefi, and who else? Yeah, I think that's it. Probably the only ones. And then you notice the small amount of 4-stars, and they're all down here. And we haven't had new ones. But we could have new ones in Rosemary right here. You had Yan back in Huang Long. Like taking one or two characters from the older regions, or even Margarita right here that people like. Like how hard would it be to just swap up these characters, make them viable? But that's just the thoughts that I have on all of this. Hopefully you guys like this video. I know it was kind of long. I tried to give you as much as visual representation as possible on this topic. But please, if you liked it or didn't like it, please tell me what you guys think in the comments down below. I'll try to link out to everyone who I mentioned in the description box and also in the first comment. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I look forward to you guys again when I drop part 2 of this video, which will delve into more feedback and suggestions I have. But so long for now.